Hey guys, this is Justin Bob 100 here, and today I'm going to be talking about pacing. Now, you probably already know what pacing is, but you might not know how important pacing is in levels. When people think of pacing, they usually think of like the time it takes you to get through something or the rate at which you get through something. And that's kind of the Platform Racing 2 definition of pacing, but here's my very simple definition for what pacing is. Let me get out the formula sheet here. What is pacing? Pacing equals change in velocity. That's it. It's literally changing the player's velocity, which, if you don't know, velocity is speed and direction. So changing a player's speed isn't necessarily making him go through like a thing of aero blocks or speedies. It's making a player go through a section either slower or faster than the section before it. Kind of a change of speed, if you would. And changing direction means making a player go up, down, left, right, diagonal, any other direction that they aren't going from the section before. Now let's make this a little more complicated, okay? There are two different ways, there are two different types of sections based on pacing. The first one is an action section. Now an action section is the bulk, like the typical section you would think of, generally going in one direction throughout, and but you're still doing a lot of stuff, just mainly in one direction, kind of at the same rate. And a transitory section is a section in which you're changing the player's velocity, which is like kind of the definition. Transitory means you're usually changing the direction of the player, which in turn changes the speed that they're going at. Now, instead of talking about pacing this entire video, I'm actually going to show you a famous level that uses pacing to its advantage. This level is Storm by Poozy. So what I'm pretty much going to be doing is I'm going to go through each section and I'm going to say at the end of it what type of section it is. And we can do this like Dora style, where you guys at home like say out loud what section you think it is. So the two types are action and transitory. So let's begin. Alright. Generally going the same direction. Same speed, same speed, same speed, same speed. What is it? It's an action section. And you can see it's getting broken up by this. This is a transitory section because you're changing your direction and speed. I was going the same rate throughout, but this section stopped me and made me go a little slower. Alright? I consider this still a transitory section. Alright, now we're into an action section. Action, 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 action. Still in action, and quick transitory. Action section. And honestly, I think pacing is the reason this level is a lot better than like if it didn't have good pacing. But we're still in an action. This is a very long action section, and here is the transitory section because we're going up. And it's slowing us down. Alright. There's also other kinds of transitory sections, like using crumble blocks, or just slowing a player down through waiting for a stupid block, like crumble or move. Yeah, that's the funny thing. My two least favorite kind of blocks are the ones that make you wait, or are time-consuming to get past. Huh. Right, action, and this is a transitory section. And I'd actually also, this is kind of an exception because you're having to use an item, oh my gosh, I cleared the top one of each of these little things out. Oh geez. You could count that as a transitory section, I don't know, and then jumping through this is action. This is transitory, very quick. But yeah, I think you guys get the idea, how action and transitory sections look. But what are some exceptions to the rule? Well, there are actually a couple exceptions to this rule. One of them being like completely speedy levels throughout, like Urban Race. But the rules still apply, just in a different way. Now, an action section is actually one in this, it's actually where you're relatively doing the same thing throughout at the same speed, okay? So this would be considered action throughout here, and some of the higher stair steps would be considered transitory, but here, transitory. This is a bit of a transitory section too. Unless, like, it's a huge change in direction, like sometimes a diagonal change, like if you're going left to right, and then there's a diagonal in the bottom right direction, that's not exactly transitory. That would be transitory. Usually it's the sections where you're going slower or you're having to wait is what a transitory section would be in a level like Urban Race. So yeah, that's about it. That's transitory sections for you. Or not that's pacing for you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna make this a series, me doing these little PR2 guide videos on topics. I already did theming, I just did pacing. We'll see what's next. Actually, you guys say in the comments section what you want to see me talk about and give a tutorial on for making levels. But anyway, this is JustinBob100 signing out.